Party people, what's going on? This is Samaj Marsh. I'm the founder of BlueDeathValley.com. I want to welcome you guys back to not Inside the Valley, but this is the first Blue Death After Dark of 2023, coming on the heels of a disappointing season opening loss, 35-6 to UAB on Thursday night. Had a couple of days to chew on it, think about everything that went down, and so now, on the eve of Labor Day, we're going to have a little chance to talk and vent and get together and figure this thing out as an Aggie fan base on that season opening loss Thursday night. And of course, I got my two co-hosts here to help me out to drive this ship. First up, former A&T wide receiver and a Greensboro native, my man Douglas Dougie Fresh Brown. What's going on, Doug?
Hey, what's up, guys? Aggie Pride.
Yeah, man. And I know, Doug, you said you got some obligations that's going to kind of take you away pretty soon. You're going to have to start off a little early tonight. But you're here for the first part. We'll talk about that in a second. And of course, last but not least, man in the middle. He's all about facts. He does not talk in riddles. Current president of the Greensboro chapter of the AAF. Organized a successful bus trip down and back from Birmingham on Thursday night. And he's here to kind of give his thoughts on that game. My main man, Craig Turner. What's going on, Craig?
Not much, guys. So I hope everybody had a good weekend and got another day off, Labor Day tomorrow. But tough weekend, but we'll live through it. We'll rise again. So I'm not really worried about it.
Definitely. So look here, guys. This is Blue Death After Dark, and if you are not familiar with the format, first couple times on this platform, we do kind of like a little live post game show. We try to, the only rules are, PG-13 language. Just keep it clean, right, for the kiddos. And, let's try to avoid this direct personal attack. You don't want to say something to a player or about a player or a coach or administrator or anybody, a mascot, that you wouldn't feel comfortable saying to their face. So even though we're online or whatever, let's still keep it Aggie, how we do, But we want to open up the show to all you guys who've been watching the show for a while and been waiting all week to give your thoughts on it. I put the link in the chat. I put the link on BlueDeathValley.com fan forum. I also put the link on Twitter. Last week we had an issue with the live stream on YouTube. It looks like that's fine now. So if there's any questions, y'all let me know. Somebody give me a text or whatever if there's any issue with the YouTube. We'll get that working for you. But Blue Death After Dark, we're gonna take all your feedback. Try to be here for probably not. This ain't gonna be a 3-hour show like we did last year. This is gonna be probably an hour and a half. I think I got a family date with Denzel Washington later on this evening. I'm gonna try to catch up, at the movie theater. So I can't hang with you jive turkeys all night. But I definitely want to hear from everybody. First time viewers, first time guests to the show, I'll move automatically to the front of the line. And if you are a female, we need some more female guests to soften up this testosterone that we got up in here. So if you're a female, we're gonna move you up to the front of the show also. So I want to hear from some of y'all new people. But first up, Doug, I know you got to go. So give us your synopsis real quick of what happened on Thursday, man.
I don't know that I have a true synopsis. I just say, there were some pros and cons. Depending on the type of Aggie fan you are, probably shapes your perspective on kind of how we perform. But, again, I'm excited for the kids that got opportunity to get down there. I'm glad the guys got back safe and healthy. But definitely some things that we can be excited about, some things we can improve on. Number one, 2 penalties for 10 yards. I mean, Coach talked about playing a clean game. Those are one of the things he really highlighted. And to only have 2 penalties, I think, for, like I said, 10 yards, that's awesome. No ejections, no personal fouls. That's great as well. I think we ran the ball well when we wanted to. And at the beginning of the game,
all game for me. Like I say, even the second half, we kind of established that running game. That was the only thing that was working. But I think the feeling I had when we left North Dakota State and we left Duke, when we had those performances by, Tootin and Graves, I was like, that's real. I don't care if we play against anybody. That's going to be something that's going to be there all season, and we had it. So I think that running game, the offensive line, is still as good as advertised.
Oh yeah, those guys are about business. So, and then there's still room to improve in that area as well. But I thought the kids fought hard. Again, for a first game out, new staff, you're still trying to gel and get to know each other. So, a lot of things we can improve on. But I'll start with those few things that we did do. The things that Coach said he wanted to do, which were take care of the football, no turnovers. Right? We actually called some turnovers. We were a hair away from having a few more. So, I'll take that, man. That is. Those are the elements to winning football. And so, again, we were playing a tough opponent. There were some, we always say X and O's matter, but there were some Joes out in the good ball club, and I think probably the best ball club we've faced all year. They had some talented backs. What they did on offense, their scheme was tough to defend, especially when you've never seen it. You really didn't have any film on them. And I think you guys will see over the next 2 weeks the difference that having film makes. I think you can see it in some of the other games across the college landscape. But having a little film on some teams and knowing what a guy likes to do definitely helps. Because as you saw in the second half, Coach was able to make some adjustments and actually come up with some stops against their scheme once he was able to get a little information on them. So I'm pleased with that end. Again, a ton of things we can improve on, but, a lot of positives and a lot of pros that we can look towards too. So, I'm a glass half full guy. So
yes, you are.
What better way to start the season off with a half glass right there, right?
Yeah. And let me know whenever you got to tap out. I know Angela might be screaming at from behind the curtain in a second. So anytime you got to leave, let us know. But Craig,
I'm gonna hang around as long as I can, man.
As long as you can, I got you. But Craig, you don't seem too worried, man. I don't see a lot of fear and trepidation.
No, no.
What was your takeaway for Thursday?
Well, we played a team that was physically better than we were. Let's just be honest about it. They got some NFL guys on their, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah. They've got some guys. The running back they've got is probably it's probably going to be an NFL draft pick. But I think the biggest thing was our they were physically their linebackers, I think, was really the biggest difference in that game. They have two of the biggest outside linebackers I've seen in college football that I saw this weekend. You got guys, 6'5", about 260 playing outside linebackers. Those guys can run. Plays that looked like they were going to break. They would simply run them down. They got some athletes. How that's going to translate for them down the road, who knows? But they were physically better than we were, and but I thought we accounted ourselves very well. When you go back and look at this, at the stat sheet, both teams ran for 171 yards. Now the totals, once you take out the sacks, made the difference between 147. I think we ran for 147, officially ran for 147. They ran for 171. But if you take out the stats, both teams ran for 171 yards. So I think that was pretty much a wash. Where they beat us was that when they needed, they kept themselves in short yardage situations. And it was asking a lot. As many freshmen as we played, freshmen and redshirt freshmen and sophomores that we played on defense. I thought the kids, I thought the kids played hard. I think they didn't show any quit in them. They were being baited constantly through that game. That's one thing that stood out to me was that UAB was doing a lot of baiting. They were trying to draw us into a lot of penalties and a lot of fisticuffs and that thing, and our guys did a really good job in policing themselves on the field and not getting drawn into that. In years past, we would have probably been swinging.
That was a scout report on the old A&T team, but this is a new regime
on the old A&T, and they were definitely pushing buttons, trying to push some buttons to get us to react. But our kids played smart. We turned them over, which is something that we didn't do. We did not turn the ball over. We turned them over. I wish we had held on to that pick six, because I think that probably would have given us some extra juice in that second half, and really would have woke some things up. But that's football. That's the way it bounces. Sometimes you catch the Bears. A lot of times the bear catches you. So but for a first game, I don't have any complaints. Like Doug said, they're probably the best team we're going to play all year as far as personnel and schemes and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they're FBS.
85 scholarships means something. Hey, 85 scholarships means
Yeah,
something.
it does. It does. It does. But from this point on, I think we're going to be playing against people that we match up with, both physically, speed wise, and everything else. So I expect us to be much better this year, especially next week. Really, this coming week, especially on offense. I think we're going to be. I think we should be better.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about this and break this. We got a little bit of video, a few snippets of video that we have tonight, but we definitely want to offer this platform to all the fans and viewers to give your thoughts. First off, let's bring in our good friend, Mr. Dave. What's up, man?
Guys.
Man, how you doing? Come on now, Dave. Don't sound so somber, man. This is
I know I'm good.
This is week one, man. Come on,
it's week one. I'm fine. The concern is if it happens this weekend.
No, you know what? There is, and see, I'm the reason why we have a 3-man crew. Our base model is 3-man podcast is because we got kind of two extremes and one middle ground, and whatever that might be. I do have some concerns. I have some legitimate concerns that I'm trying to figure out. Okay, let's just say that was an aberration. And I look at the roster, I'm like, so how is that going to get fixed? I don't have an answer on some things. I'll talk about that later. There are some things where I say, you know what? That was just us playing against some better Joes. And once we play against some different Jimmies, then we'll have a different result. I can chalk up some of that stuff to just being the guy on the other side of the ball was better than you.
Yep.
There's some schematic things that we did in that game Saturday that scares the bejesus out of me, because I'm like, that don't look like a college game plan. That looks like a high school game plan where we're just slapping the ball to the quarterback and saying, you figure it out. And I hope I'm wrong, but I need to see some evidence next week that I'm wrong, and hopefully they'll come. I think Chris Young had a tough game. Of course, Eli Brickhandler he had a tough game. I thought the Super Freaks, that was a good name for them, because they looked like they was hanging at the back after show with Rick James, and
they were taking that same stuff Rick was taking.
Yeah, because they didn't look like they came to party. They came to party, not to play. That was not a good effort by Super Freaks. Probably one of the worst efforts I've seen all in a long time.
I'm going to give them some grace, because it's kind of hard to tell what 8 passes. Like and that's why I don't want to kill Eli either. Right? Because it's hard to figure something out with 8 passes. Like when you only throw the ball 8 times and you were down for the bulk of the game, you only throw the ball 8 times. It's kind of hard.
Doug Brown. When you play the X wide receiver, right? That means you the guy, right? That means when they line you up at the X, they mean you the best we got out here, and you gotta take some pressure off of everybody else. You can't have all those drops, man. You got to run better routes. You got to give your quarterback some better looks. I thought my man Tamon Cook, who's one of the best players on this roster, had a great opening kickoff. Thought he struggled. I thought he struggled Thursday night, amongst others. There's a lot of guys who struggled, but I think, like I say, my biggest takeaways was you can control the things you can control, and you can control how you run a route. You can control how you get out of a break. You can control how you block. Okay, them things weren't good. Like none of those categories were good for Super Freaks. They got to have a come to Jesus meeting and figure some things out by next Saturday. We're not gonna win.
Well, like you said,
games.
It's a small sample size.
Yeah.
small sample size, like you said, and you know, just like everybody else, you need some time to figure it out, and you got to get some reps under your belt. But like you said, you'd always block better. Blocking is an effort thing, right? That's something you don't have to depend on the ball. So we'll get more aggressive with that, and you know, we got some young guys, and when that film turns on, those guys will see where they can improve. But running routes and catching balls, I mean, that's what you do. And again, those are some talented guys on the other side of the field, and so you know, it's not as easy to get open sometimes when you're playing a guy that can shadow you and stay in your hip pocket. But like Dave said, man, they eight passing attempts or 8 pass plays, technically 8 pass plays. You know, that's not a huge sample size. So those guys will get better, man. They'll develop more chemistry, and you'll see some of the big plays I think you guys were expecting to see Thursday night.
And Dave, real quick, so let me just read this off. So on the 2 deep depth chart that came out in the game notes prior to the game, the wide receivers, I guess, you know, for the X was going to be Ja'Carry Caldwell, and backing him up was Nick Wiles-Loin. The slot wide receiver was Amonte Jones. He's wearing number 3 now. Backing him up was 88, Elijah Kennedy. And the flanker was going to be Tamon Cook, and backing him up was Laquan Vinny. So you had Cook as a senior, and the rest of those guys are sophomores and freshmen. So that was the 2 deep depth chart that it was in the game notes. The actual participation, oh boy, I had it up. Yeah, so as far as the starters went in the game, it was Amonte Jones, number 3, Christian McDonald 15, yeah, and then Tamon Cook. And then as far as receivers, I think you had a bunch of different guys. Vinny got in there. It's Crawford, Corey Crawford, receiver. I don't know, I see some numbers, but so basically we had some guys who were missing. Nick Wiles-Loin didn't show up in the game. I don't know what's the story with that. Warren didn't show up. Elijah Bowe was not on the roster. So we had some no-shows that we were counting on. And that is something we got to figure out. And then Ja'Carry Caldwell was not on the field. So, you know, we were limited. Does that concern you, Dave, or that might be a one-time thing?
I hope it's just a one-time thing, but I mean, but here's the thing that. All right.
Take your time, Dave. Like in church.
Listen,
take your time,
timing of things. No, timing of things is critical, right?
Yeah.
You come out with the depth chart. You got 2 guys that should have been starting that wasn't there, didn't play a snap.
Yeah.
Then you get the Twitter post about an interest meeting. So I'm thinking to myself, what is this? What is going on?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, go ahead and talk about that because we need to bring.
Yeah, because like
Lord.
Yeah, like I'm trying my best to chalk it to just the social media. The Kyles just wasn't there. I'm trying my best to chalk it up to that. But you don't do that on Aggie Eagle Week. You cannot do that on Aggie Eagle Week.
Okay, so Craig, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. You tell me what your take was. So I guess today at some point they put out a social media post where it's like in 60-point font. You can't miss it. It's like, you know, tryouts this Thursday, whatever. Come, 6 o'clock.
It's an interest meeting.
All you gotta do is be a current student. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. I'm trying to think. I said maybe it's one of those deals where Coach Brown, probably chewed into his team after the game, was like, look here, guys, that wasn't a good effort. Y'all got to buy in. If y'all don't want to buy in, if y'all want to do this, I'll find somebody else who will. I'll go to war 40 players if that's all it takes. And then to illustrate that, he told his social media guy, you know what? Let's just put out a flyer for an interest meeting for some walk-ons. I'll let these prima donnas know that we'll find somebody to play if they don't want to play. just as a motivational thing, I don't think he understands the social media implications at A&T. It's different than William and Mary.
No, I think the other problem is that because he's a new coach.
Yeah,
I don't think he fully understands this rivalry that's coming up.
I don't think I thought he did, but I don't think so.
Look, I'm on these Twitter streets. The jokes are flying right now.
Oh, that's terrible. It's a bad look.
Like, because of the timing of it all. If you would have did this before the UAB game, probably would have been a water other bridge situation. You can't do this during Aggie Eagle Week.
Steve Gaither from HBCU Game Day jumped on it. He's making little left-handed comments about we might have some dogs on campus to help us out against Central. It's Craig.
Being
I know
the largest HBCU in the nation. That was a pretty good one. That was good. I laughed it down. I ain't gonna front.
Craig, I know you think it's much to do about nothing, but what you think?
That's exactly my opinion of it. I think it's much to do about nothing. It's a simple case of when he got here last year, he came in January, and he didn't have time to really do walk-ons, and so he pretty much put it on the back burner as far as taking walk-ons in spring ball. This year, he's decided to get a jump on it and go ahead and let them know that if there are any guys out there who want to try out for walk-ons in the spring, now's the time to start preparing. And he's laying out the ground rules for what they got to do in order to walk onto the team. That's all it is. I mean, everybody's got this QAnon mentality now that everything has an ulterior motive or some subliminal message to it. And it's just not the case. That's just not the case. But hey, that's what fans do. Let me say this: that's what fans do. Fans love to talk it up and give it back and forth, and all the little Twitter guys and all the social media guys out there, they like to trade the barbs and all that sort of thing. I could care less. I'm from a bottom line type of guy. I'm just looking at what we got to do this week in order to get ready to take out Central. That's the only thing I could care less about whether it came out today or comes out at the end of the season. But all he's doing is letting folks know that if you do plan on walking on or you got desire to walk on, this is what you're going to have to do in order to qualify to come out for spring practice. It's just that simple.
Doug, you fresh. You feel the same way? No big deal?
I mean, it's not uncommon to have a fall tryout or fall interest meeting nor a spring interest or tryout. I mean, even dating back to Coach Hayes era, Coach Hayes used to have walk-ons come out, late into the fall or the early part of the school year. For one, I think that's kind of what the schedule dictated. If you go back and kind of look at how things were laid out, all your attention is focused on camp leading up to the UAB game, and it was a Thursday night game, so you had a test stretch where you could probably address some of those things. And when you're mapping out your calendar, you probably make a star on that day and say, hey, this is the time where we can host a meeting, right, where it's not taken away from preparation. But like Dave's point said, timing is everything. So you give a little fuel to the social media folk or all the haters out there, give them something to talk about. But you can fix all that by winning the ball game. You go out there and play well and win. It'll be
really
something that we can laugh at and turn back in the face
absolutely.
of others. But, I would enjoy that. Let me get me wrong, but it's just one of those things that popped up because I had some conversations with folk and it caught some folk off guard. A lot of people didn't even know there was a such thing as a tryout or interest meeting in the fall. So I just look at it as coach doing another one of those things, checking something off his list that he had planned to do, but it's probably another thing that he'll learn from down the road as well,
I think it's fair. I think if someone wants to say that was maybe an unforced error, just like an unintended unforced error, then that's fair. I think that's fair criticism. He might have had a blind spot. He might be focused so about I need to make sure we get our walk-ons in for next year. I need to work about this. We need to worry about the bus is going to leave at 8 o'clock. He might have been just so locked in and so tunnel vision that he didn't understand the
optics of it all.
The optics and the ramifications.
Yeah, well, that's that double-edged sword, though. And that's that social media portion. We spend a lot of time praising the strides that our social media department has made, and we clamor for every bit of information. Well, now we're getting information, and we criticize the information that comes out, right? So, it wasn't
exactly
in the first place. It clearly said students who are enrolled, if you're an active student now. So it doesn't really pertain to us, and the folk that have a problem with it aren't the guys that they were targeting in the first place. Now, with that being said, all active students have an email address and Aggie Alert. So there might have been some other avenues to get it to them and not the masses. But
it's funny you say that. I've talked to students and they feel like they get too many emails from A&T as it is. And I said,
post a flyer in the student union. How about that? I don't need the fans essential to see that we're putting out a call to action on game week. I just don't need that right now.
I'm just gonna stick from a player standpoint as well. That's just something else. It's another distraction that even the players are taking a side eye to. And I don't know the conversations that Coach had with the team about, that even if it's something that came up or not. But I know that might be something that a couple of players are like, wait a minute, like that's somebody I'm having to compete with, or is he talking about replacing me? And so maybe it did have an alternate meaning behind it, or it may have killed two birds with one stone. But we'll just say hopefully it works out in our favor, however it goes down.
Yeah. Like I said,
it's not the first time that's happened that's not the first time that's happened at A&T, because I can remember, and I'm dating myself now, but I remember Jim McKinley was coaching here back in the 70s, and he opened up tryouts during the season. He solicited a student body for tryouts, and actually picked up 2 or 3 guys. So it's not unprecedented. It's just something that we just hadn't seen before, or modern day folks hadn't seen before. But some of us who've been here for a few eons can attest that's not the first time that's happened.
Here's an interesting comment from AJ. He said a tweet about the field pass restrictions could be a bigger pause, but even that isn't a big deal. So I didn't see the tweet about the field stuff. So usually we have enough people to overthrow a small country on the sidelines with the band and just friends and family of everybody. Everybody can on that sideline doing homecoming and doing Aggie Eagle. So I don't know if they're trying to restrict that for safety purposes, which would make sense. But I don't know about that. Y'all can give me some more insight, because that must have happened sometime today or whatever. But people ain't gonna like the band. Ain't gonna like that, man, because they like to hang out on the track during the game, But I guess they figured it out. But so we're gonna go more into a deep dive on Aggie Eagle Wednesday. We don't want to kind of shoot our shot too much. I don't know what's the word. We don't want to focus too much on Aggie Eagle right now. We kind of still want to reflect on UAB, and I broke down some video. There was some good, bad, and ugly. But let me show you the first drive, the opening drive of the game for UAB. And that's when they kind of established a little bit of dominance on that offensive line, and they kind of showed a little bit of how much diversity it was going to have in their formations and their play calling. I still don't think we made some stops in the second half, but I don't think we fully got an idea of everything they were doing scheme-wise. I think we were still, even at the end, we were still trying to figure stuff out. So here's their opening drive of the football game for UAB.
And from Protective Stadium on a Thursday night, the college football season is underway. Shanks nearing the 20-yard line, corralled and dropped just.
That's what you want, man. They stopped at the 19-yard line.
Play.
Great coverage by the kickoff coverage unit, and I'm feeling good. Like, guys flying down the field, staying in their lanes. Good sign. Good sign.
Short of the couple of starts last year for Jacob Zeno. To the outside, Brown on the first carry of the season out across.
That was a good, strong opening run. And I said, if we can't get off blocks better than that, we're going to have a long night. That was the first thing I saw on that run. I said, that was a nice little gap he had over there just off tackle. So that didn't look great.
Kansas transfer that they feel like is their best cover corner as UAB goes fast.
Brown out to the.
They're going to figure out.
Once again, man, it's like we're not really, getting off blocks here. We're kind of on skates already.
Ways to manufacture touches for him, not just your standard run game.
Jacob stays in the backfield in the pistol formation.
That right there. We need to talk about Central, guys. And Craig, you remember this. Central's going to do a whole bunch of that. They're going to line up 2 tight ends on one side. They're going to go in motion, and they're going to go to the other side of the field, set up shop. We need to be prepared for that. They're going to do it numerous times. They did it all last year in Charlotte. I saw 2 guys running from one side to the other 6 or 7 times in Charlotte last year. So we need to have a plan for when we see that Saturday night.
Behind Jacob Zeno, 2 plays and a first down for UAB on their opening drive of the season. Play action, Zeno with time finds a receiver coming across the middle.
I love giving my quarterback just easy open targets. Nobody within 10 yards of them.
Hold on now. Yeah. I thought you were going to point out the fact that you love how aggressive our corners are playing. The fact that they're up there within 5 yards of the receiver. The corners, now the guy coming across the field wasn't lined up at receiver. He kind of got lost amongst the linebackers. But go back and look at the beginning of the snap. You'll see those guys up.
Behind
we're doing some different things with
Jacob Zeno. 2 plays and a first.
Okay, so you got Prunty over here on the boundary. He's about 4 yards off the ball, and then up top, I believe
looks
that's
like a two look. Looks like a 2 look a little bit.
Yeah. Now is that a cover 2, or are they going to go to like a little robber?
No, I think they both kind of stay low.
First down for UAB on their opening drive of the season.
Yeah.
Hey, that's aggressive. That's aggressive.
That is aggressive.
Yeah. Now I see.
You didn't see that last year. I can tell you that.
And I see Aaron Harris.
Go ahead.
Aaron Harris passing this guy off. He sees this guy running this over route. He's passing it off. Unfortunately, I don't know who he's communicating to because there wasn't nobody to pick this guy up across the middle. That dude's wide open right there.
Way open.
And then when all your quarterback got to do now is just turn his hips, and he's gonna see him. I don't know if 42 got out of position. He's supposed to fall back, but that's about as open as you're gonna get in the college football game.
Play action. Zeno with time finds a receiver coming across the middle out to the 45.
The play call from Alex Mortensen. Get Jacob Zeno out on the edge. Nice, simple 1-2-3 progression. Works down to.
Let me tell you right now, Zeno's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. Okay, we made him look a little bit better than I think he is. He had a nice pass from a touchdown, but some of this stuff was just a lot of this is scheme. They were giving him some open guys to throw to.
Jacobs straight ahead across midfield in. Jacobs straight ahead.
Let's go back.
Progression.
Okay, now tell me if this is good or bad as an offensive line. Is the offensive line doing their
works
job?
Down to.
Look at the offensive line. Good Lord. Listen. If you open up
Jesus.
if you open up that type of hole where everybody who was in the middle is now their back is facing a sideline, then you're gonna run the ball pretty effectively. I think. Good. I mean,
that's
Craig,
316 against 260, and that's what happens.
And Craig, I agree with you. But I think there were some people who when they saw the initial roster, they posed the question, how are we going to hold up when we're 260 on the defensive tackle spot? And,
it was lighter than that, wasn't it?
And I think we were told that don't worry about it, we'll figure it out.
Wait a minute. I thought he was lighter. I thought he was lighter than 260.
Oh man. So what we were talking about? We got
when you looked at the depth chart, I thought the DT was like in the 240s, 250s.
So if Christopher Abrams is 96, I'm not sure who's on the field right now, but he's listed as 255. And Henry Daniels, a defensive tackle, he's listed as 235. And then we got other guys who kind of, I didn't realize that Mitchell Edwards was that small. I thought he was a little bit bigger. He looked small out there on the end. But yeah, that's going to be tough even against FCS teams.
And the CAA.
Because when you're talking about you putting out 265, like you said, Craig, against 300, 3 bills, that's going to be the result more times than not, I think.
Jacobs straight ahead across.
To piggyback on what you said, Samaj, the other thing you got to consider too is that the goal of the guy in the middle is to shed at least get 2 linemen. Like you want the big man to shed 2.
To eat up 2 blockers. To eat up 2 blockers. And
eat up 2.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, and typically you got to have somebody like 300 pounds in a perfect world, but we know that we don't have that right now.
Think who's the kid? Who's the guy, Dougie? Who's the guy for your New England Patriots? Wilford.
Oh, Wilford was 330, 340. Like and he was shedding 3 guys. Like that was a different type of.
Wilford was your quintessential 3-4-1 technique, and he just planted his big behind right on the side of that center and stood there, and you couldn't do anything with him. You know, we ain't got nobody like that right now.
Maybe that's what we're looking for the interest meeting. A 325-pound defensive tackle.
That big boy in humanities 101. If you hear us, brother, we need you. Come out Thursday. Good night. All right.
Cross midfield in Jacobs, the transfer from Independence Community College in Kansas. This time play action, and Zeno's going to keep it himself. He'll go across the 40. Rain Brown back into.
I know those guys are fast, man, but we're not flying around. And it might just be, I said on in real time, Doug, I said it seems like our guys are being slowed down by thoughts. You know,
yes.
Being on the football field, you want to react. You don't want to try to think your way through things. That's just going. I don't care if you run a 4.8. That's you're going to be running in the fives if you got to think while you're doing it. So we got to, you know, I think next week when we understand our assignments a little more, we should be flowing a little faster.
The game, he goes in motion. So an empty backfield as Brown is wide at the top of your screen. Quick pass near side. Strap hooks on the catch. Iverson.
2nd and 4.
Quick pass incomplete.
Out on the ball, lining up and going again.
Get it to Fred Ferrier that time. This is the 8th. Quick pass incomplete.
That's another good aggressive defensive play.
Yeah, was that Ty? Was that Ty Williams?
That's tie breaking on that one. Yep.
Let me see. Let me go. I want to show some love to DB.
Strap hooks on the catch. Iverson. Quick pass.
It looks good. It looks like kind of like some of those Mac McCain plays where you see it and you just go for it.
Pass incomplete.
Out on the ball, lining up and going.
I don't like this. You got guys running off the field.
Again.
Not sure. Some guy coming in late. It's 3rd and 4, guys. We got to have this one. I prefer our coaching staff to call a timeout because it's obvious that people are not sure of what they need to be doing, and I just don't like confusion on 3rd and 4. Just the new rules of college football means the game is going to go by faster. We only had the ball one time in the first quarter, and so your timeouts are not the same as before. The game's a little bit shorter, so use those timeouts if you need it. You know, because we just crucified Sam Washington and his staff all last season for having 12 guys on the field and all this stuff. So, you know, fair is fair. You're gonna have to tighten this up, Coach Brown, and because right now they look a little confused on that first drive.
Fred Ferrier that
and create the opposite words first drive. It's the first drive of the season. There's gonna be confusion, but you know, so can't be too critical.
Time just the 8th play of the drive.
That brother look lost. Like, do I come on? That looks
my man ran and then snapped back the other side. Yeah.
If you go to any high school football stadium in America, you're gonna see that 5 times on every Friday night. Somebody just don't know they're supposed to be in on kick coverage or what, you know. So, but
first 3rd down of the season. NCAA trying to get players off the field. It's a running play to the outside. Isaiah Jacobs with enough for this year in college football. That clock keeps rolling until we get to the 2-minute mark of the 2nd and 4th quarters. Running backs in the backfield this time, and it's Brown trying to get to the outside, and he's wrestled down from behind after going. Brown is out wide. Jacobs is in the backfield. Play action to Jacobs. Now Zeno looking to run. And he's going to be close to that first down.
For me,
this play action.
Okay, guys, so this is where I'm really starting to worry because this is kind of egregious here. You got my main man, and I don't want to pick on no kids. You know, dude, I love you I love you to death. Welcome to A&T. But if you got so Mitchell, what's his name? Mitchell
Etheridge, right?
Etheridge. Yeah. He's listed as 6'1", 245, number 37. When the quarterback's out the pocket, you cannot get effectively blocked by a wide receiver and give this guy the edge.
To Jacobs, now Zeno.
That can't happen. You got to put that little wide receiver somewhere in the stands, and you got to shed off him and make a tackle number 4. You can't get neutralized and locked up by somebody who's weighing 150 pounds.
Looking to run.
That can't happen.
man.
That can't happen. Doug, I'm not picking on these kids. I love them. When he makes 5 tackles for loss Saturday, I'm going to devote half the show to him. But I just got to use it as a metaphor, guys, that we can't have that type of effort, and we got to be strong in the point attack in that, okay? But you're going to make some plays, Mitch. I have no doubt in my mind.
And he's going to be close to that first down. And that is enough for a first down. UAB knocking on the door of the red zone after a gain of 6.
Another good decision by.
They motioned one out into the slot. Quick pass out to Jacobs, who.
BJ, new inside linebacker, BJ Turner. I thought he showed pretty well, Craig. Did you like BJ Turner's effort this game?
Yeah, he had 14 tackles.
Yep, you can't beat that.
Solid.
I think he covered the bases. Safe bet.
Yeah. So I think he has some pretty good a good film review when they broke down.
Released out of the backfield.
BJ looked like he was acclimated to the speed of the game. To me, that was one of the biggest differences, man. Those guys, I mean, if you haven't practiced, you're not used to playing against that type of speed and size every day, especially early in the season when all you really know is what you've practiced against all summer long and into the early part of camp. And most of those reps, I mean, you brother-in-law in some of those reps because you try not to get hurt, right? So, I think we got to do a better job of playing through the whistle. I think a couple plays we had, they look like camp reps, right? Where you kind of waiting on the whistle to blow or you don't go to the ground, right? I want to see guys playing through the whistle. I'm trying to get the ball out all the way to the ground, and I still might be trying to knock it out your hands, right? Like you just got to get those. That's how that level practices and plays, right? Through the whistle, through guys' chest, right? Not waiting on another guy to make the play. Trying to get all 11 hats to the ball, like those things that you talk about that are harder to do when you're tired and fatigued, right? And again, this is a first game of the season in the Deep South, right? So it was hot, it was humid. Condition is a factor in those type of games, and so that's why you want to get through them healthy. And you really can't simulate that type of conditioning anywhere else but the first football game. So all those things factor in, but mainly when you're playing against a guy that can play, right? I don't care if he's a 155-pound receiver. He's a dog, right? He knows what it takes to get it done at 155 pounds. So sometimes you get caught off guard. And I think we saw our guys get caught off guard in a couple of plays where they were trying to block a guy or trying to make a tackle. Just, physically they weren't expecting, the guy to be as strong as he was at times. But that comes with playing the game. And hopefully that helps us going into next week, because you start to see teams that aren't as fast or aren't as big and strong, and you should be able to be a step ahead of them.
Yeah. All right, Chris, I see you down there. Hey, Chris, hold tight. We're going to pull you in the show. I want to talk to you first time guest. I want to pick your brain. I know you got a lot to say. So hold on, Chris, real quick. So finish off.
Ray Brown in the backfield. 5th-year player, one of the leaders on this team. It's an end around.
And we look slow, Doug. Doug, look slow.
This was the moment for me when I knew that this was going to be a long day.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say my man held up a bit, but it looked like he did. But I ain't going to hold y'all, though.
And that's going to be another first ender.
I hope this ain't it.
Realizing that's not the most dangerous threat.
This is it, Doug. Ooh, this was a bad one. So you got somebody coming in late off the field, and I guess I hope his job was to come down and set another edge at the bottom of the screen. Because look at, I don't want to pick out his number, but look at the defensive end who has both hands on the ground, right? To your right, on the right side. Okay, let's look at where he ends up at. Okay, because right now the line of scrimmage is what? We can call it the 9, the 11, the 10. We can call it the 10-yard line. Okay, let's look at everybody on the 11. Okay, everybody who's currently standing on the 11 in white jerseys, and look at where they end up at when I stop this video.
Getting upfield.
Now a run up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown UAB, a 10-yard. And that's going to be another first ender.
Realize
right here. Just look at everybody on that 11-yard line.
That's not the most dangerous threat. Getting upfield.
Right there. That's a wrap. I think that's Henry Daniels getting washed out. They just saying, look here, brother. I gotta you got a phone call on the far sideline. I need you to go answer it. He's out to play, and that is a alley. We call it an alley. Everybody is getting locked up. There is not one person that won a one-on-one battle on this play. The next time that they're going to touch him is going to be at the 3-yard line.
Now,
that's
run up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown UAB, a 10-yard touchdown run for Jermaine Brown.
So, I don't want to I digress. Craig, any quick, hey, Craig, Chris, about to come in. Craig, any instant takeaway thoughts on that opening drive by our friends UAB? Anything you want to say about that one?
No, they came off the ball. They locked up the smaller guys and bulldozed their way into the end zone. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
He sure did that.
Chris, my man, how you doing, bro?
Doing well, and you?
Man, it's a pleasure. It's, living the dream, as we say. So were you at the game on Thursday? Did you get a chance to go down there?
I didn't go, but I watched it.
Watched it, okay. And so what, we just out here trying to figure things out. Maybe you give us some insight, man. What was your takeaway from that showing on Thursday night?
My takeaway was very similar to Doug's. I think we have a lot of positives. I think, for one, the 2 penalties versus our previous squads, that was really great. In addition to that, I think that I was surprised at how good we were able to run the ball on those first drives. And the running game was.
That's not a fluke. Like I said in my opening statement, that is going to be there at the end of the season. That's something that you can hang your hat on. We got an offensive line. We got a stable of some serious playmaking running backs. What's the kid's name? Number 7,
Kenji Christian.
Kenji Christian's legit, man. Let me tell you something.
He is as good as advertised. That I can see why he came in there and got on that depth chart immediately, because he's a bad boy. Go ahead, Chris.
But I'm also concerned about the defensive line, just like everybody else is. And I was curious, do you all know how we compare to our defensive line in terms of weight, how it compares to Central's offensive line at all?
They actually lost some offensive linemen, but they're still bigger. But I just think they haven't fully meshed as a unit. I believe they lost 3 offensive linemen, if I recall.
Yeah, that's what their coach said early on in one of those.
I know they lost 1 to the portal.
Yes.
They lost a couple to the portal. And 1 graduated.
Yeah, if you're talking in terms of size, they'll be a lot more manageable size-wise than UAB. UAB was about 316, 317 across the front. They were about 6'5" and about 317 across the front.
And that was athletic 316 too, right? That wasn't some chubby checkers. There was no baby fat on those 316s. Those were grown men.
Yeah. They're nowhere near.
If you watch, if anybody watched the Central Winston-Salem State game on Saturday, Central's about the same. They're not grossly large, so the matchup will be a lot more even.
The defensive line of Central's is not that good. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all that right now. They're not that good.
The defensive line?
No, they're not that good.
Well, see that way, we might be. Last year was kind of it wasn't a high scoring game, but I think if we have troubles on our defensive line and they have troubles on their defensive line, then that this thing could be like the last Celebration Bowl, 64-40 something, because we're going to run the ball Saturday night.
Oh yeah,
we got some other issues with that passing game and the whole scheme, but our bread and butter will be there on Saturday. We're going to be able to hand the ball off to somebody and get 4 or 5 yards when we need it. That's not a doubt in my mind.
The other concern that I had was it seemed like every time they ran like a sweep, Like our edge rushers were slow.
And once again, I don't know if it's the linebackers not, or the safety, or the safety, that rover, whatever, not stepping up and being that edge. But you're right though. When they went to the far side of the field, it was like the Pacific Ocean, man. They had so much room, and I mean, athletically, we didn't have enough foot speed to keep up with those guys on the outside. So you had to have a body there in place already. We couldn't cover sideline to sideline like Jeremy Taylor back in his day. We ain't that fast in the second level right now. I know I had pointed out on Twitter during the game. I said I got Malik Jacobs. He didn't look right, and sure enough, he responded on Twitter as soon as this game was over and said, "Yeah, I wasn't 100%, man, and I'll be better next week." First up, Doug, I forgot how quick the guys get on social media so this game is over now. If you say something on the third quarter, 5 minutes after the game, they're going to respond to you. And they're going to be liking posts and giving frowny faces or whatever. So all y'all fans out there, on social media, y'all better be careful because them boys, as soon as they get to the locker room, they pick up their phone. But Jacob said he wasn't 100%. He promised to be better. Jacobs did not have a good game. And that's my guy. We got to have a better showing from our linebacker, our starting linebacker, if we want to have a good season this year. And I trust that he's going to find out what he ever needs to do. That second level, we struggled. The whole front seven, didn't have a banner day, but that's to be expected against a Power 5. But if we see the same problems on Saturday, we got something else to talk about. Go ahead, Chris.
So my last concern is, Trey Oliver comes from Broadway's coaching tree. So one of the things that they pride themselves on is basically stopping the run. So I'm hoping that we come up with some type of coaching plan where we could either get the tight ends involved or have a short passing game so that we'll have a good mix, because if we don't, they just going to load up the box.
Doug,
that interior serious for the offensive line for Central.
Doug, do you think that Chris, Courtney Cord is suddenly gonna he's gonna put a 3-man front up there? Or you think he's gonna load that box up with 15 dudes, man?
Hey, they actually showed some 3-man a little bit in the last game, but they're gonna load the box. They're gonna bring the ball for it. They're gonna throw the kitchen sink, and just like we said, they showed some stuff in the last game, and a lot of stuff they didn't show. And we probably did the same thing, some looks and some sets that we didn't want to put out there, and that's to your advantage. So we'll see, man. It'll come down to execution and making adjustments throughout the game. I think we match up well with them, and I think they match up well with us in some spots. So it'll come down to will, right? You got to want it more than the next man in the other locker room. They're going to come with a lot of fire and a lot of passion, and they're going to do whatever they can to get in your head and get you off your game. So again, that's just another component that we wouldn't have seen up until this point. But all signs point to our guys being able to manage their emotions and can come out and compete and stay focused, because they showed it a little bit last week. So hopefully we can rise to the occasion and match that energy, because you got to kind of drag them down in the mud with you, and you got to go low with them. So that's the only way to beat them.
Okay. So Chris, before we let you go, Chris, man. So any final thought on that game? Anything that you definitely want to see better Saturday, or any advice you want to give anybody on the coaching staff?
I just think that we got to get that passing game straight, because every pass that I saw in a UAB game was a deep ball. Yeah. We need those 5-yard passes, basically to keep them third down manageable. But like I said, I hope that they're able to mix it up a little bit and intertwine that passing and involve the tight ends as well.
Oh man! Now, see, I'm about to get beat up on the sideline next game, because I'm about to have to call some more guys out. So one of my favorite guys on the team, Nick Dobson, man, he had a rough night route running too, and I looked at some of that film, and he didn't come out off that line clean, and give the quarterbacks a good target. So a lot of that stuff is is on him to make it. He's a big guy. He's great feet, great hands. He needs to have cleaner routes and be more presentable, and then it'll be easier for Eli, whoever's under the rest, to see him real quick and drop that thing off. He was struggling. Everybody seemed to just lose. All our wide receivers didn't have a great burst, and they almost telegraphed when they were running the ball versus when they were passing the ball based on their release. You can't do that. You can't tip your hand to a defense coordinator. He'll see, okay, these guys. I mean, even cornerbacks can pick up on that when your energy off that line, because if you run the dig, you got to run your first 4 or 5 steps like you run the fly, and then you got to put the brakes on and go across. You can't just start slowing down until your cuts. We had a rough night route running, but I think we're gonna figure out some ways to get that a little bit better. But hey, so Chris, man, appreciate. Thank you for coming out. Go ahead. You say something else?
No, I was just gonna say appreciate you putting me on, and I look at y'all all the time, and I contribute as Mount Holly Aggie 98, but just never came through.
You got to be more consistent, because I like your takes and everything. And by the way, anybody watching this right now, take a chance, take a minute, and go and subscribe to our channel, because we need more subscribers. Once we get over that 1K mark, we're gonna be doing. We like YouTube. You have like a benchmark to get special features and options. So we got to get over that 1K benchmark, and then we can really have some fun. But so Chris, we're gonna let you go. But thank you so much. You can stick around for a minute. But thank you so much, man. And we'll see you on the boards then, man. All
right, sounds good.
All right, my man. So Billy J, what's going on, bro?
You're on mute, boss.
Come on, Billy J. This ain't your first rodeo.
There you go.
Right, yeah.
You in these streets now.
Yeah. Everybody hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We got you.
All right, how's it going, guys?
Well, we lost Doug. I think he finally had to take care of his business, but we got our big time friend Billy J, and we got my man Frisco. Let me bring Frisco in there. We can do a 2-for-1 here.
All right.
So Frisco, what's going on, man?
Not much. First time joining.
Yeah.
I mean, it always just I see it and I always have something to do. So I put in there formally from Texas, because I've been in Greensboro, back in Greensboro for 2 years now.
But, I know. Yeah. Yep. I still owe you lunch, man. So I'm about to pay it one day, man. Pretty soon here. We got to go ahead and maybe kick back jacks after the game or something like that, man. We can chop it up. Yeah. But so Billy J, first up, man. This is a rough season opener. But did you take that? Did you come away from that experience feeling like worried or still?
Well, pretty much, I just felt the same way you guys did. Everybody has a little worry, their doubts. Now to piggyback, I'm kind of be like on Doug's side. There's some positives that I did see. Like Chris and all those guys said, the running game. I was impressed with that. Some of the running game and the different formations that I saw. I saw some different formations that we as Aggies don't normally see, which is a good thing. Now, on to the bad.
We were under center a little bit more than usual, right?
Right, exactly.
That was something a little different, right?
Yeah, that was something different. And like I said, we were able to move the ball against them on the running game, but once again, on the flip side of it, like you guys said, that passing game needs some work. Like I said, I hope our offensive coordinator come out with a good game plan. Like you said, those 5-10 yard routes, in routes, out routes, drags, slants, tight end over the middle. Even what would be great. And here's one thing that UAB did. Like I said, when they was doing all those different sweeps and misdirection, when UAB did the play action, that really opened it up. And that's one key word, play action. So if you're able to run the ball like we say we're going to do, that should open up some play action plays. Now I would like to see that as well. I mean, because I know we need some work in the pass game, but we had under 40 yards passing. That's unheard of.
16 yards passing.
16 yards passing. That's even worse. Yeah, that's even worse. Yeah, so that can't happen against Central.
It could happen if we win.
Yeah, we win. Yeah.
It's just, I think Central's going to anticipate us running the ball 40 times.
I agree, Dave. I agree, Dave.
I think they're going to anticipate that, and they're going to, and they might decide, they might make the executive decision to stack the box, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree, Dave. 100%. I agree.
All right, and so Frisco, real quick before I got some more video that I want Craig to help me break down. I got the first drive on offense, but Frisco, what was your immediate takeaway, man?
Well, one of the things that I was in, a lot of points been touched on about no screenplay game and no short passing. But one of the things that I saw is their DBs were not in press coverage. Their DBs were back 5 to 10 yards or 5 to 7 yards. So I was very surprised that the offensive coordinator didn't do those quick wide receiver screens where basically the wide receiver just turns around and you hit him with the ball.
Make
that
them
kind of
come
shocked
up, right?
me that I didn't see that.
Make them come out. Yeah, make them do something different from what they want to do.
Yeah, and if I'm reading between the lines on Coach Brown's comments, when he said that Central's going to see something, we're going to exploit Central, and he said that we have to get the ball in the hands of our receivers and our running backs. So I think to me, between the lines, seemed like he saw a lot of what we saw.
Craig, there is a way where you can make the game a little more simpler for a freshman quarterback. There's things you can call that just gives them a little bit of chance to get in the rhythm and let's get an easy completion under that belt. Do you feel like for what reason that we didn't do that Thursday?
I think part of it was the fact that it was an unknown how either one of the two quarterbacks that play were going to react. I think that had a lot to do with it. If you're talking about some things that you can do to facilitate the passing game, the two things that both of these quarterbacks have in common is they both are athletic guys, and they both can run fairly well. Roll the pocket, use rollouts, roll the pocket, and use a pass option rollout type of scheme where you're running crossing routes to one side of the field, get the quarterback out on the edge, give him a lead block out front, give quarterbacks out on the edge, and let him find the receiver find the receivers either deep or intermediate. If it's not there, then take off and run. That will do a lot as far as getting Central or getting any team out of the habit of staying eight guys, playing 7-man fronts and 3 guys within 3 or 4 yards of the line of scrimmage, because that's really what they did. They knew we wouldn't be able to double team them up front because of their physicality. And but that's one thing I would really look at is rolling Brick Handler or White outside. I think that opens. I think that gives them a better chance of making those short completions and get that short passing game open. It also open it up for your tight ends too.
All right, so let me show this first offensive drive for A&T, and you guys can all jump in when you want to stop. Tell me to stop.
Third for North Carolina A&T. He fields it at the 6. Trying to get to the outside. He's got some room. Now cuts it up the field. Cook out to the 35. Great.
So I think I badmouthed Cook on at the wide receiver spot earlier. So let me give him some props from that special teams, because that was a big time opening kickoff.
I will say this, man. Yeah. We should talk a little bit more about how well the special teams played. They had a couple miscues, but they were, they had 2 miscues, but after that, they were freaking rock solid.
Well, first of all, let's give some props to our new kicker filling in for Money Brown. Owen Daffer from ECU transfer, and the only points we got on the scoreboard all game came from his foot. So thank you, sir, Mr. Owen.
Yeah, legit kicker. Can't be mad at that.
And
Special teams matters.
Yes, and with the exception of the one shank punt, Caleb Brickhouse averaged 42.7 yards a punt. And that was excellent. He had the one bad kick on the first kick, but after then he was lights out. I think he had one for like 50 or 60 yards. He had another one for like 50 yards. Yeah. So
I don't know if he did his charity event this year, this charity gig this year.
Yeah.
I would have lost some money if I signed him this year. Because he had them boys at the one, which was an outstanding punt.
And also, Craig, he also did kickoffs, so he pinned them back on kickoffs time and time again.
Yeah, So I think our special teams are going to be. I think our special teams are going to be okay. Again, it's just a case of some things that we have to tweak. We have to tweak in our passing game, and how we and I think to simplify things for those two young quarterbacks until they get their confidence and get into a rhythm, and then I think we'll be okay. But I think we played it. I think the coaching staff played it close to the vest in anticipation that they did not want to go out there and try to and get somebody, like Doug said earlier in the show, get somebody killed by doing things that.
I think
Brick was about to get himself killed.
At this point, I'm not ready to do.
Brick handler.
Yeah, well, that's true. He's gonna have to learn how to throw the ball away.
He gotta throw that ball away, man.
Yeah, he's gonna have to learn how to throw. He's got to get rid of that. He's got to throw that ball away when there's nothing open. He's pinned up against the sideline. You're not gonna run over a 250-pound defensive end chasing you down. It's not gonna happen. Throw the ball out of bounds. Live for the next play.
There was a couple moments when I saw him scramble outside. I'm thinking to myself, you can throw the ball away now, bro. You can throw it away now.
Please.
Yeah.
And he takes the hit. And I'm
Frisco,
like, you cannot do this.
Frisco, he played about 3 quarters last year. He almost played 3 quarters this year. Because when he ran on that one play, and that was the one he was trying to get the first down. The guy almost ripped his neck off and spin around. But there was one play where he went to the sideline. And he had, at the very least, he could have thrown out of bounds.
I was
like, come on, bro. We need you.
He got blown up, and he went out of the game for a while. I thought I'm like, oh my goodness, it looked like
right. That was scary, huh?
Let me tell you something. I saw he passed the ball 8 times, and there was occasions where I felt like there's more plays obviously that he tried to throw the ball, and there was occasion where I was like, "Yo, bro, you got to throw this away.
Yeah,
got to throw this away." And he's taking his unnecessary hits.
Yeah. So here's the first drive.
Great return. Rick Handler with Wesley Graves in the backfield on his right, and he will come out throwing, and then he'll tuck it and get what he can, just a couple hits from his linebacker position.
Hey, by the way, I just talked bad about Dobson. That was really good blocking on that edge to free that side up. So, like I said, he did it really good. He did a good Loman's job on blocking. I just thought the route running could have been a little crisper. Because I want him to emerge finally. I've been advocating for this for 2 years. I want him to emerge as a weapon, a weapon in the passing game in the middle of the field. Y'all all remember that one-handed touchdown he caught against South Carolina State one year, right? Nick Dobson.
Yep.
And we really haven't exploited that to my liking since then. And I know he has that ability, but you got to get yourself in position, Nick.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Graves gets the handoff, picks his way through, out across midfield, still on his feet. That's Wesley Graves on 60.
And so, Dougie, that's going to be there all season long. You can.
That's a good run.
I mean, that's not no operation. I don't care who we play against, what's on their front of their jerseys or whatever. If it's on the road, if it's cold, if it's hot, we're going to be able to do that all season long.
8 carries last year.
Really good job getting a hat on a hat up front by A&T in the offensive line. That's kind of the matchup that I'm looking for earlier in this game, that offensive line.
Time in program history that North Carolina A&T has played against an FBS program. They do have 3 FBS wins. Looking for another one. Rick Handler taking a shot down the field. That's well defended.
See right there, I think you just predetermined. I'm throwing this ball deep. I'm getting antsy. I want to showcase my arm. I don't see what you saw there. And it was supposed to be, I guess, a double move by Cook, right?
It's a double move, yep.
And that double move didn't fool nobody. And he still, when he saw that, because usually it's like, what they say, Doug, if I'm even, I'm leaving, right? But he didn't ever get even. Like he was, the corner was always had cushion on him. And we still make that throw. So let me go.
Well, he did put it in a place. He gave the guy a chance to make a play on the ball, and it is one-on-one coverage. So if that's Elijah Bell down there, we're okay with that throw. If that's Zach Leslie, I'm okay with that throw.
Exactly.
So,
or Denzel Keys at 6'3",
right.
6'4".
That's
Right.
taking advantage of your one-on-one matchups, and it is kind of a predetermined throw that it's a hitch and go type of deal. And you threw it to your speedster, and that's just the case of them having a guy that can match up with you on the other side. I made a good defensive play, but as a receiver, I'm not mad that you gave me a chance to make a play on the ball, right? That's a target is better than no target. So.
Yeah, and I think I kind of outlined the starting lineup for this game and even the 2 deep depth chart going into the game. I think we're still missing some guys that we're expecting to have. I don't know if Tamon Cook is going to be playing on the outside all year. I think his natural position is that slot, and I think you probably want to get him as fast. He might be the fastest guy on the team. I think you probably want to get him horizontal more than vertical. I'm not sure if he's a natural vertical receiver. I'm not sure if he understands like stacking and attacking the high point. I think he's still a work in progress there. I like to catch him on a slant route, a dig, a long over route. But I don't know if I just want to. I'm not sure he's going to be the newest member of Jump Ball U. That's my whole point. So
looking for another one. Rick Handler taking a shot down the field. That's well defended by Colby Dempsey.
That's on first down.
UAB named its captains the Fire Breather 5. And off to the outside. That's Kenji Christian on his first carry of the. And off to the outside. That's Kenji Christian on his Fire Breather 5.
Once again, like number 2, that linebacker number 27. I know you have plans on playing football right now, but that's a important call on line 1. Let me escort you to the phone. 27. Okay, we're going to start this play on, what is that, the 43-yard line. Okay, everybody see that? 27 has both feet on the 43-yard line. Let's see where he ends up.
And off to the outside. That's Kenji Christian.
Good Lord. And you got your clothes dirty. You got your school clothes dirty on the first day of school. Your mom ain't going to like that, 27. Come on now. Whew, that's a grown man. Grown man, grown. Good Lord, I love seeing that. Thank you. Hey, Doug, I almost missed that. Thank you for pointing that out.
That's my guy, man.
On his first.
And he stayed on top of it. And you know what? He rolled that knee into his side. He's like, look, man, GNC makes protein shakes. You should invest in some before you step to me again. That's crazy. That's domination. And that's going to, A&T fans,
domination.
That's going to be there all season long. We're going to be mauling people.
That's a straight up pancake right there.
We're going to be mauling folks all season long. And Lawrence LeGrone is going to stand on top of you with your dirty school clothes and like, man, come on. Do better. Do better, son.
First carry of the ball game. Handler from under center with a 3rd and 3 for North.
So this is a Power 5 team we playing against on their place at home. They're healthy. This is the first drive of the game. They're juiced up. They want to get a quick 3 and out, get the ball back to the offense. And this offensive line, Coach Madison, the game, they just say, "Nah, we gonna show you that we can establish line of scrimmage just like y'all can."
Carolina A&T. And off straight ahead. Good hard run, but not.
Craig, describe that run for me right there. Describe what he just did on 3rd and 3.
Oh, it's frozen on my end.
Yeah,
The frame froze up.
Yeah, I paused it, but it's reflect on
Okay.
it. I'll play it again. I'll play it again for you because I just want you to look like a
Yeah.
thorough coverage.
And off straight ahead. Good hard run, but not going to be
It's
able
more
to
of
get
a
enough.
Barry Sanders type of move where it's more of a Barry Sanders type of run where the hole's clogged up. He spins out of it into the open space and gets what he can get out of it.
But that forearm, though, to get that leverage on that edge, that forearm, is push that guy back until you can get that first down. I love that second effort, man.
Well, you're talking about a guy who's 6'2" and 210. That's a big running back.
Yeah.
So he's not going to go down with an arm tackle.
No way. And we didn't see a lot of Charlie. First name Charlie, last name Dixon. He got a few snaps and few yards, but both of those guys are going to be battering rams. And then the grave digger, you saw what he did already. So we got that like I say, some things 1 + 1 = 2. The sky is blue, right? Water is wet. Just because some things didn't go well on with the passing game, the things that we saw in the spring game are legit. Okay, we got a running game.
Yeah, A&T's character is not changing much as far as what we do best. And like I said before the season started, what we do, we're built to run the football. Our offensive line and our running backs, we're built to run the football, and that's what we we're in a year of transition. So we've got some athletes, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We have some athletes that really were recruited for a different system, so they're having to adjust. But I think we'll see a vast improvement this week. Now, how much of that is going to be improved? A lot of it's going to depend on what we see from the other side of the ball, or what we have to contend with. North Carolina Central is a good football team, no question about it. A good football team. Davis Richard is a really big, strong quarterback. He's not the type of guy, though, that worries me about beating us over the top so much as it is that his ability to make plays with his feet and to extend plays. I think that's where he's really good. He's really good at picking up, getting rid of the ball in certain situations, in pressure situations. He's not the type of quarterback you really want to blitz. We did a lot of that last year, and he burned us with the dump offs and stepping up and out of the pressure. We're going to have to be able. What we need to do is really keep him composed inside the pocket. We got to keep him inside those hash marks. I think we do that. I think we'll be okay defensively.
Kenji Christian, and he got it for the first down.
Really good instinct. Stopped up right here, spins off of it, and it's that second effort right here. Lean forward. And I agree. I think he got to that 35-yard line.
It's going to be a fun night for Kenji Christian being back in his hometown. Play action to Graves. Brick handler saw an opening and takes off up the middle. He'll slide forward for a short. Monty Jones in motion across to the top of the screen. Blitz coming, and it's a handoff, and not much there for Graves. He'll get a 3rd down and 7.
They got that box loaded up, man. It's 1, 2, 3. That's 8 guys already in that box. And then you got
exactly.
They are not worried about our passing game, man. I guess we bringing in guys in a bunch formation and we're under center. So that's what I'm saying. Chris Young, I gotta sit down, buy you a beer. You need to explain this concept to me. It's 3rd and 7. What are we trying to accomplish here? Are you trying to put in like a drag route maybe? Are we trying to get? Is that Tamon Cook right here, second from the top? Are we trying to get him open across the middle on a drag route? If so, I don't know if he has enough room to stretch that for 7 yards. Though, let's see how this.
Well, what their whole intention was, their whole game plan during the entire game was to bring as much pressure as possible on these young quarterbacks and confuse them and force them into making mistakes. We didn't turn the ball over, but we didn't recognize, and that's where the inexperience comes in. Is we did not recognize the matchups what matchups we did have. That's going to have to come in time. That's not something that's going to be done overnight, and that's the difference. And I think that's what you saw here. One thing about Jalen Fowler, love him or hate him, but Jalen was really good at picking up where that blitz was, where the pressure was going to come from, and then reacting to it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And reacting to it. And that comes from experience. You got a guy who's been in your system for 5 years. He recognized that. You got guys now who one guy just got his first college start last Thursday night. So it's going to take time. It's going to take time. But again, there are things that we can do in order to make it easier for him early on as we go through these initial non-conference games. And I still believe rolling him out and rolling him out or rolling the pocket out is going to will help him considerably be able to pick up his receivers a lot faster and a lot quicker.
Yeah. Tight formation for North Carolina A&T. Rick Handler going hard count, and then he hands it off to Wesley Graves, who has all.
Or you can do that. So they put 8 men. Good Lord, they put 8 men in the box. We saw it.
First down.
Now Frisco,
almost got it.
So let me ask you a question though. If they put 8 men in, once you put 8 men in the box, once you're in the box, you don't gravitate back out of it. So if you do some type of play action and a short dump off pass to the tight end, you catch them off guard, because when you do that play action, those 8 guys that are already in the box are going to react to that, and you slip the tight end out about almost right where that referee is, and maybe he doesn't get completely the first down, but he only has 1 guy behind him. That's it.
Right.
But I put that on. But that's something that the offensive coordinator has to see.
Yeah. See, I said it earlier, Samaj, that keyword play action.
And
say you got 8 men.
And Billy J, you got to understand too. You don't have anybody, I don't think, under center who has the, like Craig says, experience or even the cachet to change the play right now. I think pretty much if you put Brick Handler and you put White out there, they're gonna run with it, whatever the Coach Young said. They're not gonna audible out. They're not at that level yet. So that's why.
Right? Yeah,
they're not at that point.
They're not at that level.
They're at that point.
They're not at that level at this point.
It was 8 men in the box. They saw 8 men in the box, and they still ran that ball up the middle. Now, to their credit, they got the first down because we got a first down.
Good. You're right. That comes with experience, and like I said, that to me boils down to the coaching. Like, you got to teach these guys, hey, you see, teach these guys to recognize the defense or to learn to read defense. Really, don't just go with the play call in hand. We see all the great quarterbacks do it all the time, but like I said, that's going to have to come with experience.
But we got frustrated last year against Central, where Central might have showed 8 men in the box, and Yeager, he might have said, "Well, I need to throw the ball because we ran into a brick wall." So that's that double-edged sword. I don't know how that all the mechanics of that work, but we're critical this week because we only had 16-yard passes on 8 attempts. Last year we were critical because we had 51 passes.
It flip-flopped. It flip-flopped from one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Last year with Yeager, he made the right reads. He just couldn't hit the receiver. I saw time and time again. I mean, and I had a pretty good seat that he had open receivers, and he made the right read. He just didn't – the ball just wasn't – the placement of the ball just wasn't there.
It was a tough spot for him, too. I mean, your first game is against our rival school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's a tough spot.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah,
I give him credit for making the right reads. He tried to go to the right spot. His ball placement was just bad, but at least he was reading it and knew where to go with the ball.
You know, it was sound decision making.
The hole going forward. He's going to be short of the first down. Perhaps decision time.
Good opening possession for this unit.
That was a gain of 9 on the carry for Graves. Not a straight I formation. You got a fullback, have a helmet that comes off on
change in.
And Doug, I mean, we are just battering these guys on line of scrimmage. I mean, that was only a 1 yard run maybe or whatever, but I love the way we just put a hat on the hat and this.
Yeah.
I mean, we are just doing what we need to do across that line. Gosh, I love our offensive line. Coach Mattis, you know, take your hat off. You had a great game plan, and your troops executed all night.
College football, the clock does not stop after first downs now, and you're really seeing the impact of it here in this first quarter.
10th play of the drive here for North Carolina A&T. Graves hit hard the backfield alongside Eli Brickhandler.
So we got trips up top, one guy at the bottom, no tight end, one back set, right? And you know, I forget what this play is. I would like to
passing, right?
I would like to see obviously kind of like some scissor action going up top with those guys are like, you know, splitting, you know, between each other to confuse the corners and maybe get some separation.
Right. Or Samaj, a simple like here, this is the passing down here. Something simple, you guys know offense, a simple flood concept will probably work in this situation.
Yep. So
A&T is converted twice on third down. They've got 3rd and 10 here.
Yeah, this is a draw play.
Yeah,
this is a great example of this is a great example of you playing against some guys that are a little physically superior than what you are
physically
right
superior.
now.
Exactly.
And it's not a bad call. It's 3rd and 10. You're in field goal range. You don't want to do anything to jeopardize possession of the football. You want to come away with points. So we ran a draw play. You try to spread them out a little bit, and you actually have, you know, everybody blocked for the most part. A guy just makes a FBS football play. I mean,
quarterback draw.
Linebacker.
It's a
He takes on the block. He basically disregards the block and plays through the blocker's chest, the running back's chest, and makes the tackle. Right, that's a heck of a play when you draw it up and everybody's accounted for, and the guy just makes a better play. So run it back one time. Run it back, man.
3rd and 10 here. Brickhandler, quarterback draw. It's across the 20.
Wow.
It's dropped.
So once again, Mitchell Edridge, that's what I need from you when you're facing a wide receiver, okay? Just put your shoulder down, go through him, and still make that tackle. You don't get locked up by somebody weighing 170 pounds, please.
After because defenders are locked up with
that's Charlie Dixon. That man played through. That's not like he was playing through a little man right there. So that's a heck of a play on that guy.
Wow. Let's go back. I got to go back. I didn't realize that was Charlie Dixon.
It's converted twice on 3rd down. They've got 3rd and 10 here.
Okay, so we at the 20-yard line, the Thriller in Manila, Rumble in the Jungle, big time title match. Got my 6'3". How much does Charlie Dixon weigh?
He's a low man.
230.
Is 6'2", 235, and they got this middle linebacker. I'm not sure how much he weighs. We'll see what happens here.
He's
a quarterback draw.
Oh, he got
Woo! First name Charlie. That's something to put on the board for next week, man. Make up for that. But that you know, I don't like seeing my man, my big bruiser with his feet up like a dead roach in the.
That won't happen. That won't happen to my boy again, man. He caught him off guard a little bit. But how often do you practice at full speed against a guy that's coming downhill like that, right? Charlie Dixon's used to giving it, not taking it, and so sometimes it catch you off guard a little bit, man. You know, he usually delivering those blows, and every now and then the guy catches slipping. But I'm sure he'll be ready. That won't happen next week to him. I guarantee that.
I'm looking at this chat.
Hey, Dave, what did your man Drake say? They call it slipping, but okay, now what?
I don't know enough about Drake, man. I try to avoid Drake like the
Come
plague.
on, you ain't no hip hop aristocrat, are you? Come on, man.
No, man. It's just
Cool Mo D. You ain't flying with it, man. Come on.
I need Drake to rap more. That's
the 20. Dropped after it because
defenders are locked up.
And you know what? They try to get like the reverse jinx on Owen on the broadcast with the ECU thing. He's he got kicked out of ECU. He missed too many kicks. You know, they try to throw some shade on him, man. Like, let the man kick his first kick in peace, man.
Hey, they can say what they want, but the Daffinator, the Daffinator, I'll take it. Not bad for a first game in the blue and gold.
Right.
You know, I'm a Money Brown guy, and Money's my guy. But for now, in the meantime, the Daffinator, I'll take it.
Yeah. Their receivers, but good job by UAB getting their defense off the field.
Owen Daffer, the East Carolina transfer, on to try a 37-yard field goal straight on. Daffer was a good kicker for East Carolina, and he drives this one down the middle. Had a couple of key misses. Confidence.
We key missed this.
He got a leg on him now.
Yeah. I was really impressed by that opening drive by A&T. Got 3 points, kept that game close. You know what, Doug, am I my brother's keeper? Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. So look here. Graves saw what happened to his big man Charlie Dixon, and later in the game he got a little payback.
Backfield this time. The handoff is to Graves, and he's got a hole. He's got a first down close to the 25-yard line. Dropped at the 27.
A big collision with A.J. Brown, who looks like he's shaken up from the safety spot.
I want y'all to watch this.
Yo, bro.
First of all, I'm gonna give everybody 5 seconds to get seated and upright and watch this hit. Because if you like A&T football, man, oh my Lord, we need to get Mo Smith. Mo Smith know a little bit about doing something like this. We need to get Mo Smith, Michael Bass Knight, some of them big boys. They know a little bit about running through somebody's chest.
Look on the right side of your screen. Bam, right there.
Oh my God! Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Good Lord.
Yeah, I remember that play.
Game, bro.
Yeah.
Let me set it up. I gotta set it up from the top. Because you put my man Charlie Dixon down, and you thought we was sweet, right? You thought RBU was a joke, all right? But nah, man, we ain't rolling like that.
Both in the backfield this time. The handoff is to Graves, and he's got a hole. He's got a first down close to the 25-yard line. Dropped at the 27.
Big. That was College Lauren that showed it down, and hey, coming the Bulldogs right there.
Danville, Virginia.
From the safety spot. Look on the right side of your screen. Bam, right there. Woo. Man.
He had to come out the game, man.
He was out of there, bro.
Yeah. Go straight to the tent. Do not pass go. Go straight to the tent.
What day is it?
Go get your.
How many fingers am I holding up?
Go start your concussion protocol right now.
We took his behind to the call.
Somebody answer that doorbell. That bell keeps ringing.
Yeah. Each time guy's bell rung.
Take his helmet from him. Don't let him back on that field. Take his helmet. One more time. I'm sorry. We ain't had that many highlights. We got to go crazy on the few ones we do. One more time. Good Lord.
Big collision with A.J. Brown, who looks like he's shaken up from the safety spot. Look on the right side of your screen. Bam, right there.
Boom.
Hey. So, Mr.
Good night, sweet prince.
Hip hop.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember when Gucci Man was dissing what was that guy name? Young Jeezy. He had that song. He had that line, that one song, that diss song. He said, "I ain't no real rapper. I'm a grave digger." That's what Young Jeezy told. I mean, that's what Gucci told Young Jeezy. I ain't no real rapper. I'm a grave digger.
Spot. Look on the right side of your screen. Bam.
Oh,
right
I'm a grave digger.
Man.
Everybody's got a plan
Brown,
to get punched in the mouth.
Screen. Bam, right there. Woo. Big collision with A.J. Brown, who looks like he's shaken up from the safety spot. Look on the right side of your screen. Bam, right there. Woo.
Take that.
Man. Look on the right side of your screen.
He tried to get up, too. That's the funny part. He tried to get up, and he realized it was it.
That's what you get preempted. We went back in time. They ran up the score at the last minute, that last drive, and they know Graves was from the future. Graves got a time machine. He saw when they scored that last touchdown, he went back into the game, right, just like the Avengers, and he went back in time and he settled the score. He settled the score. Let me do it one more time. You gotta get off this thing. I gotta get the moves.
Safety spot. Look on the right side of your screen. Bam!
Go!
Right there.
There you go.
Ooh, man. AJ Brown
man.
grabbing that arm.
AJ Brown. I hope you're all right.
What you see with a stinger. He's now off the field.
Oh man. All right. So gentlemen, it's already an hour and 35. So look, we can't stay here too long. I got things to do, and we're gonna be on here Friday. We're gonna be on here Wednesday night to have a little preview for the Central game. Y'all get the gist of it. No, we don't need to beat a dead horse. We were outmanned. There was some coaching things that I think we need to figure out. I want to see how Chris Young bounces back. Right. I want to see some of his conceptions and his schemes that he's going to unveil for Central. Now, I'm not one of these people that says, "Oh, they was holding back. They didn't want to show Central." Nah, you go to every game trying to win every game. You ain't trying to hold that.
Samaj, you're not a Panthers fan, right? You're not a Panthers fan, so I can listen. Throughout the entire preseason, our coaching staff pretty much said they were doing vanilla offenses the whole way.
Okay, preseason, I can understand that. First game of the year.
Well, there is no preseason in college football.
There isn't, and that's my point. So that's why. Yeah. So that's why my biggest I'm not concerned about Eli. I'm not concerned about our run game. I'm concerned about the play calling at this point. That's my biggest concern. Because that and I think folks are going at Eli, and I don't think it's fair to him because it's about the quantity of chances he had. He didn't have many. So for me, it's about the play calling. So we got a week. They got a couple of days. They know Central's here. I think Chris Young should understand a little bit more about this rivalry, maybe than Vincent Brown. So I hope they clean this up. And if it was vanilla, I don't think it was. That they got some good things to show us on Saturday.
You know what I'm concerned about? Real quick, I'm gonna let you get in there, Bill J. You know what I'm concerned about? Honestly, I'm concerned about the health.
Looks like
this dude right here. I'm concerned about AJ Brown.
Bam!
Good Lord,
man. AJ safety spot. Look on the right side of your screen. Bam! Right there.
Oh my Lord! Take his helmet from him. Take his helmet.
AJ.
I'm sorry. I digress. I apologize. Sorry.
I cannot.
Oh Lord!
You had to do it one more time, huh? You had to do it again.
Can you do it one time? Can you do it one more time?
Like he's shaking up from the safety spot. Look on the right side of your screen. Bam! Right there.
That's it. Come on. All right. So but I agree. So man, let's go around the horn. We gotta get off the show. Billy J, give me some parting thoughts on this game, and then we go Billy J, we go Doug, we go Craig, we get out of here.
Well, I'm just gonna piggyback on what Dave said. Hey, this is a challenge to you, Chris Young. If you're out there watching, listening, hey man, you gotta come. Hey, and I gotta come out swinging. This is a rivalry game. It's a rivalry game for a reason. So you gotta come out swinging. You can't come out with no B, C, D game plan. You gotta come out with an A+ game plan, because that's what the Aggie fans want. That's what Aggie Nation is gonna want to see Saturday. Think about it. Think about Chris Young. We didn't win last year. We lost last year. So I'm pretty sure all the Aggie fans, Aggie Nation got revenge on their mind, and you should too. That should be for the whole coaching staff. Vincent Brown, offensive coordinator, defense, all you guys is on. And Doug, you know me, I'm a band guy, so it's chaos. It's chaos. It's on next Saturday. It's chaos. That stands for kick butt on Saturday. I'm gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that.
One thing is certain. Here's another hip hop.
The person on social media said that the band was. They saw 10 bands on the 10 buses.
Yeah, man, I was not happy about that. Had me looking like a fool on Twitter.
Yeah,
Turkey. Come on now.
I don't know what that was.
You need to do a me cop, a copa, whatever they call it. And you need to come on social media and apologize, because there was people who picked.
He apologized later. He apologized because there were folks in Birmingham that literally made the decision of whether or not they were going to go to not Aggies, but other folks that wanted to see the band.
Man.
And some of them went to that game, and there was no band.
You know, the Machine did put out their performance schedule.
I said that,
right.
I know, but then when I saw the 9 bus thing, I'm like, maybe they coming.
Yeah, man, they got somebody from the chance at the last minute, but it's. So Okay, so
Birmingham fans didn't even want to come out to that. They didn't bother coming out to the game. So
yeah.
There were a lot of empty seats in that stadium.
Yeah.
For a home opener. So, it is what it is.
But
no,
like I said, Doug, taking my point away, yeah, it's game time Saturday. It's on.
Yeah. Doug, give me a final thought, man, real quick.
Yo, I think we got a lot of good teaching tape from this past weekend. Again, I'm glad to get out of the game healthy, right? Everybody knows what's happening next weekend. The team really talked about trying not to look past the first game because, of course, everybody had the next game marked on the schedule. So, it's time to go to work. Like I said, a lot of stuff we can improve on, but I know those guys will be ready. And, I look for next Saturday to be an awesome Saturday. But, kudos to those guys that got their first snaps. Like I said, it's always special when you get your first little taste of college football. So I'm really excited for a bunch of the young guys. Josh Isaiah got out there. I think he played well. BJ Turner showed up and he played to be as expected. And look for us to make more plays in the next game, man. That ball's going to start falling in those Aggies' hands, and those windows on defense are going to close down, and you're going to see us make some plays. So I thought we look good in some areas again. We all know there's tons of room, tons of area to make improvements. But, overall for the first game, FBS opponent, it is what it is. So on to the next one.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Craig, tell me something good, man.
This week it's all about intensity. You gotta want it. We're gonna have to want it more than Central. We've got to get into the mind frame that this is our house, and we protect our house no matter what. And we're not going to let the buzzards come in here and punk us in our own backyard. I mean, we've done it to them more than times than I can that I can count over the last decade or so. The tables are a little bit, on paper now. The tables seem to be turned. They're the cock of the walk, so to speak, by college football. I think it's time to restore things to the proper order, and that means we've got to take them out. No matter what, do whatever we got to do to get it done.
And,
21 point underdogs is what we are.
So who?
That's what I heard. Me. 21 point dogs is what I heard.
To who? Central?
Yeah.
Man, don't make me cut.
Oh, I don't think. I look.
Listen,
I'm waiting for the line to show up on my app.
We'll talk about that Wednesday night. That can't be right. But
right.
On a quick note, we gotta get out of here. But I want to say, change gears real quick. Our chancellor earlier, I think in the week, he announced that we had a record amount of research funding, 147 million funding last fiscal year. That was like a 50 million increase over last year. We're doing great things on the academic side. I actually got a little bit of a snippet from when he announced that to like the board of trustees or something like that. So check this video out of Chancellor Martin. What's the wrong video? Right oh my Lord!
Man,
I'm sorry. I thought it was
I knew you were gonna do that, man.
I got the wrong
one. Looks like he's shaking up from the safety spot. Look on the right side of your screen. Bam! Right there. Man. AJ Brown.
I mean, we can say that's pretty much the rest of HBCUs when it comes to research funding right now. I think we're in
the lead. All right, guys. So, hey, I gotta get out of here. But hey, thank y'all so much for sharing this evening with us. We got a chance to figure some things out, vent, and celebrate and laugh a little bit. We'll be back on Wednesday night for our Inside the Valley regular show. Might try with a special guest or two. Doug Brown, you finally was able to stick it out with us. I thought you had to go, but I guess you talked to the lovely Angela, and she gave you some free time with the fellas. So I appreciate you, Craig. Of course, man, you're the main man. You doing everything behind the scenes, putting bus trips together, feeding village of folks. So thank you. And Billy J, Dave, I love y'all for supporting the program. Hey, everybody, stop what you're doing. Hey, when you get this thing, I need you not to, I don't care about likes video. That might mean something to somebody, but I need y'all to subscribe to the channel and get some of your kids and whoever has a YouTube account in your house, make them subscribe. We got to get over that 1,000 subscription threshold. But until Wednesday night, this has been a great episode of Blue Death After Dark, recapping that UAB season opener. I'm Samaj Marsh. We will see you guys next time. Peace. Aggie Pride.
Aggie
Pride.
Pride.
Aggie Pride.